Good morning and welcome to What's New with Mike and Jeff, your Saturday morning hobby hangout. Coming to you live via the interweb as Jeff comes back into focus on the
I had
computer.
forgot that I have to share this with other sites.
Well, we were so engrossed in our conversation this morning of solving the world's problems that we forgot how to press buttons.
We are getting pretty good at it though.
Yes, we are like I would, we should if we unfortunately we can't share our pre-show. But if we shared our pre-show and the problems that we solve in humanity, people would it would change the world. And I
Absolutely.
am
Absolutely.
getting baking soda out of my mustache because this morning I was gluing a metal screen into my Volkswagen bus, and I used baking soda as a hardener for the glue and the surface. And I blew, and it all went into my mustache. And now all I can do is taste baking soda in my mustache.
Yummy, yummy.
Good morning, Joe. Coming to you live, couching from my living room. Couching, is that a verb? Couching?
Couching. He might. Well, yeah, he might be couching.
Is that like surfing the web or chilling? Like I'm couching. Does that mean he's relaxing? He's
He's probably kick back, feet up, drinking a coffee.
watching the show on the big screen. Oops, coughing.
Okay. So
Okay.
that was a typo.
Well, I was trying to figure out couching, I guess. I don't know.
Well, according to my phone, when I logged in, John's also there's John.
Yes, he is coming to us live from Phoenix PD headquarters because he is putting DNA swabs and doing something. He texted me last night. And I'm like, I don't want to know what you're doing, John. What you do with DNA in people's cheeks is strictly up to you, brother.
Yeah, just knock yourself out, pal.
There are some things in this world we just don't need to know about, especially at Phoenix PD headquarters.
Yeah, DNA and swabs is a little.
Yeah. So how you been?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been having a whirlwind tour of food establishments here in the Elkton area
Yeah.
because of my birthday. So I'm on a not it's not approved by my diet plan. My diet plan is pretty much hey, you can't live in a bubble. You got to take care of yourself. You got to occasionally have something that you really want to eat. Um, so most people have a cheat day for their diet or something. I'm right now experiencing a cheat week. So
Cheat week.
cheat
That's all
week.
right.
So my birthday is this year, so I'm taking advantage. But as of Sunday or Monday, depending on my mindset, I will be actually right back on track.
So how old are you? 52?
I turned 58.
I was trying to give you a few
I
years.
and I appreciate that, but I'm basically yeah 58. 2 years past my expiration date.
So it took you 58 years to create that magnificent body. 1 week's not going to destroy it all.
Yeah, that's the thing. It took me 58 years to get here. It's going to take me hopefully not that long to get back to my
Yes.
normal healthy weight, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep
Well,
going.
John said he had to change his task for today. Now he's just entering shell casings, which sounds incredibly boring, but
Yeah.
who am I to judge?
Lenny
has joined. Raymond has joined us. Good morning, you guys. So
awesome.
we haven't heard from Lenny in a long time because he has been addicted to World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. I heard that. Yeah.
He is going nuts with playing. I don't. It's not my thing, but as long as it makes you happy and entertains your brain and gives you an opportunity to escape from reality,
Stress management is important, and a lot of times I play those games for stress management. World of Tanks Blitz, however, has not been very well. It's been more stressful than stress management.
But on a positive note, Lenny posts. So Lenny's big into physical fitness. He works out.
Absolutely.
Like he did a deadlift yesterday, like 400 something pounds. So congratulations, Lenny, on your successful lifting of heavy things and setting them back down again to lift them again to set them back down again.
What are you making a big deal about that for? I do that every time I stand up.
It's a different kind of deadlift, buddy. That's just old. Yeah, that's just you getting up to function as a human being.
Oh, okay. All right. I've got some kind of record going there.
Yes. But Lenny isn't. I'm a cardio guy. I like to run. I like to jog. I like to do that kind of stuff. I'm not doing it right now in this humidity because I walk outside and I sweat.
I got that beat too. I'm a cardio guy. I had mine completely rearranged.
You reorganized, cleaned out, and did all your.
I'll make that work differently.
Well, I'm super happy. Like
I got a cool metal sheath around my aorta, just keeps it all nice and tight and compact. Awesome stuff.
John says, that's an almost deadlift.
That's a good way to put
it. Yeah. Well, I'm super happy because my wife bought me this Motorhead shirt a long time ago.
Yeah.
And this was one of those shirts like you bought me that one time. Remember that shirt, that orc shirt you bought me? That was
the UK, which has weird sizes. Yep.
That's exactly what this is. This is like little people extra large shirt. And so it never really fit me. But now it fits me perfectly. So I'm super happy about that.
I have a great shirt that Todd bought me for my birthday last year. I'll show it to you. It's right over here. It's actually, I use it up until this week as my goal shirt.
Yeah.
I want to eventually wear this, but it's a UK. It's the same size as the one I'm wearing now. It does not fit me. But Todd bought it for me online.
Oh, that's the shirt you want me to make into the dice tray for you.
Yeah, this is the Grand Annulis from the Space Wolves, but it's a UK size. But this is my goal shirt. I want to eventually fit it in this bloody thing.
You should, and you will.
I will eventually, but after this.
Joe says the only reason to run is if you're being chased. I am being chased. The Grim Reaper is always behind me, chasing me, so that's why I run. And Lenny, thank you for the invite. One of these days, I will come to your house, as long as it's not in Maryland, to lift heavy.
I think Dennis Leary put it best on the whole jogging thing.
Yeah.
Tom Mix started the whole jogging craze. When did he die? While jogging.
I don't like people like to refer to working out as lifting weights, and it's like, no, you're lifting heavy objects and setting them back down again to repeat the process over and over again. That is all you're doing.
It getting out, and like I said, with my back issues and everything else, I've got a routine that my orthopedist put together that is low impact on my back until I get my weight down, so I can start doing a little more extreme core training to get my back strengthened up. But
core,
which I haven't stopped doing that stuff.
Good.
And Lenny wants you to come lift with him.
I one of these days I'll make it over there. It's weird though. My wife has a complete gym set up. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't want to lift heavy stuff today. But I'll go run, a mile and a half, 2 miles. Like, I'll go run.
I should go to Lenny's and I'll sit in a lawn chair drinking a soda, and we can do a before and after vid where this is that you can go from this to this if you just do what Lenny does.
We can do a before and after photo.
I'll be doing the 12-ounce lift.
There you go.
Lenny's doing the 400 pounds.
So Lenny just threw down the challenge. He hates running, so him and I will go running, and then we'll lift heavy objects and set them down. So that will be good. Hey, Adam has joined us. Oh, everyone's coming back into focus today. So
well, I actually started working because Lenny hadn't joined us a while because it does World Workout. So I actually remember the video I did for Joe.
Yes, I remember the video.
I actually this week I was thinking about Lenny, and I thought, something, I'm going to do a Lenny Runehand video. So now I'm taking my time on this one, so I'm not sitting there for 8 hours.
So we're going to debut a Lenny video.
It probably won't be till after I come back from Arizona, unless I get really bored one day. But
that's okay.
And just to let everyone know, on Discord is the Warhammer 40K OG guidelines.
OG.
I corrected a typo not a typo, or an edit in the Discord list that's just in the actual body of the text. But you can also, just below that, you can actually download the PDF.
Okay.
But that's set. It's August 21st. We've only got 24 spots, and we've got, I think, 10 or 12 people on the event on the IOG Facebook page. We've got, I think, 10 or 12 guys that have already said they're coming.
Okay.
That doesn't mean they've registered yet, but we've only got 24 spots, guys. So that's on the August 21st. The guidelines are on Discord. They're on What's New with Mike and Jeff Facebook page. They're on my Facebook page and on the IOG Facebook page.
And I'm sure as time goes on, we will talk about it more.
Yep.
And answer any of your questions, but it is 50 power level.
Yep.
Nothing's changed there, and it's just
the only real major change in Army design is we used to just allow only 2 detachment types, battalion and patrol.
Right.
I've opened it up to I think there's like 6 now available. I didn't the mistake I made is that what they call incursion level, which is 100 power level, you're allowed 2 detachments. Which that was a mistake because I originally was thinking about taking it to 100 power level, but after our conversation Wednesday night with Jonathan,
right.
I left it at 50, which is not the incursion level. So I pulled that line out of
it's just one detachment.
One detachment.
Yeah. Raymond's asking, when is Reg day of? So
if we do it in the morning. Now I think you can go in the store and reserve your spot ahead of time.
Right.
So just talk to the guys at IOG. If they give you that look of like, I have no clue. And they probably don't know yet because we just got everything set up today. I think Darren's going to get all that in place on Monday.
Right.
But yeah, I think within the next, probably the next 7 to 10 days, that should be set up to do pre-reg. I think it's still $10. Darren was talking about upping it to 25, but also then catering lunch,
which is always nice.
Yeah, but he opted not to do that, just because we didn't want to restrict it. A lot of people won't pay $25 even if you get a meal because that's. Right. So we just left it at $10. So
I think that's fine. Everyone has different tastes because if you cater lunch, you're going to end up with like pizza or subs or something. And
Darren actually was going to have Chick-fil-A catered in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he opted out of that, I think.
Joe's saying it's not in place as of today.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, buddy. I think that eventually, probably next week, Darren will have that set up where you can do pre-reg. So we'll probably start that. I'll talk to Darren again over the weekend and see if we can get that set up for Monday. But you can go to the event site on the IOG page and actually click I am going. I just use that for a rough idea of how many people are going to have show up.
Good morning, David. David. And also Joe and I spoke about the Gaslands build and play day and got all that worked out. So that should be going on the website, should be getting registered up next week sometime.
Cool. I will be there. I don't know if I'm going to do any building, but I'll definitely be there to do the play part.
Be there and support.
Hopefully you and I, hey, we got Rex in there.
Rex. Good morning, Rex. And Winslow, standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Oh, I'm sorry. Copyright strike. Chink.
It's better than being banned for what I was almost banned for.
And you're still getting banned for it.
Still getting hurt about that. I was going to say something and
yeah. I clicked I'm going, but so Raymond is going. That is exciting. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's
and fantastic. Raymond, I know Raymond is a Thousand Sons fan. And GW announced a new Thousand Sons. I think it's a box, like a big box set.
Yeah, I think so.
Raymond, if you pick up that set and there's some art in there that can be converted into a dice tray, I know a guy.
I know what I was going to say.
What?
I think one of us is going to die. I think everyone that's ever watched our show is on today, so I'm a little nervous about that.
Uh-oh. We're missing a few people. We don't have Steve. We don't have Will. We don't have
that's true.
Rob. We don't have Greg.
We just have a lot of people here. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's always good. But anyways, Raymond, if you pick up that box set, I don't know. Not getting the box unless I sell something. I don't have the cash. Oh, okay. If you know a guy that might be able to get you the art, like if you know someone that's buying it and they're just going to toss the art, let me know, buddy.
I think we should start a movement on our Discord channel.
What's that?
Called Fund My Army.
Fund My
Army. It has gotten it is it's just they have a GoFundMe page. We should do a Fund My Army where guys can come on and tell us their story and then we all chip in and make sure they get the model that they want.
Like they can show us their painting abilities and their gameplay abilities, and if they're stewards of the hobby.
Yeah.
we support them in getting their army funded in some way, shape, or form. We don't want to know how we're going to get it funded. We'll figure that out as time goes on. But it's a great idea. It is one of those things that in my mind, because my mind works in very mysterious ways. Um, Shops supporting players for tournament play and getting into the advertisement, like any kind of race carts type stuff, where like IOG
Right.
supports like certain players in the community, and then at tournaments they wear an IOG shirt, like I'm supported by Imperial Outpost Gaming. It's going to happen. No one, I don't think anyone's done it quite yet. Like I'm sure stores are supporting certain players, but I can guarantee you one day that's going to be a thing. Okay, cool, Mike. Thank you. I will deduct the price of Kill Team from. If you're giving me that Kill Team box, you're more than welcome to do such a thing.
Well, that actually reminds me of a story when I was at Hobbytown USA when Magic Beta had just launched, and I sold so many sealed boxes of that it wasn't even funny. And I remember I had a guy buying a full box while his wife was holding their baby, and she was literally crying because he was spending their rent money.
Yeah, but he had the wrong intentions. He was not a steward of the hobby.
No,
he was chasing the cards.
Yes.
Yes, but yes, I see what you're saying with Joe.
Yeah, it's like
yeah. You can buy the box, Joe. Just make sure you include it with the rent.
yes.
Oh, that's funny stuff. But yes, I can see that happening. I could see sponsorship type activity, especially with all the streaming that's going on, and how there's so much marketing being done for YouTube channels and things like that. I could see for a shop, especially a bigger shop, I just sponsoring players, and that sponsorship could be a lot of different things. It doesn't necessarily mean you get everything for free, but it could mean
ITC events are going to start looking like the pits at NASCAR. All these
exactly
different advertisements,
we're,
guys walking around wearing,
We're gonna walk in and there's gonna be like all these people with these cool jerseys, and there's gonna be like all these different sponsorships, and next thing you know, there's gonna be like people on the sides of them, like holding their models for them, and
like we'll walk in. I'll be wearing like an Alan O'Brien gorilla with a brush jacket. I've got my new Jump Bombers jacket because he's a sponsored painter, and
yeah.
And we'll have the Don guys wearing the Don t-shirts because he's a sponsored 40K player.
Yes. Lenny's gonna wear his shirt sleeveless, so he's gonna just he's gonna be the muscle. He'll be the guy walking around.
There you go.
There are one or two players that have, and on the East Coast, if I remember right. So there are people already. I think it'll become more mainstream. For a shop, it makes sense. If you've got again, we're talking about the stewards of the hobby, not just people that are good at 40K. Right. And this is like the Mark and Don's and Raymond's and Eric's, the guys that truly embrace the hobby and are trying to show the positive side of the competitive scene, not the I cheat at all costs and I don't treat people correctly. Because be honest with you, the new rules and for Age of Sigmar that include the conducts to play the game actually disgust me, that they had to go to that level and put that in a rule book, because people don't understand we're playing with little plastic or metal toys on a table, and it's not about stomping, lying, and manipulating the rules to beat somebody. It's about having a good time. So
and or being disrespectful to your opponent just because.
There's that mindset. If you fluster your opponent, fluster your opponent because you roll sixes and they roll ones. Sorry, Jeff.
You can fluster me all day long. It's not going to change my dice rolls.
But fluster your opponent because you're a good player, and they're flustered because you're a good player. Don't call them names. Don't make them feel stupid. Don't belittle them and beat them up. the fact that, and I think Darren just posted something about this on Facebook about rules of conduct in role-playing games. Same thing.
Yep.
You have to rate your RPG game. It's like, no, you have to be an adult and ask questions. And if the answers to those questions aren't what you want, you walk away.
One of the lines I hear, when I used to role play on a regular basis, you'd hear someone, well, that's what my character would do. And it's like, no, you're just saying that to give yourself a reason to be a jerk.
Yeah. Yes. How could you possibly know what your character is going to do in a fantasy setting? Sorry.
Yeah.
That is what you want to do because you want to be a jerk.
You want to be that guy. You want to be the guy. So
yeah. Anyways,
shall we look at pictures?
Off that rant, let's look at some photos and see the great stuff that people.
I have got a beautiful picture staring at me on my other monitor. I thought, we got to show this.
Is it my mustache?
No, I keep that on the wall though. I have a beautiful version of that.
All right, so pop them up.
There we go.
Press the buttons.
We're pressing some buttons. Boom. Good to go.
Boom. Oh, look at that. David dice tray.
That is awesome. I think these are 3D printed dice, right?
Yes, those are you can 3D print the die. Like obviously he's doing all kinds of stuff because you can see little terrain bits and pieces down on the right-hand side.
Yep.
David is going nuts. The only thing I would ask David, dice trays need to have a good solid foundation. So hopefully the fill on the bottom is good and solid.
Yeah.
If not, then very Aristea.
Aristea.
Yeah, I can see it going either way, but it's a nice tray. I didn't ask him earlier, so hopefully he did a good fill on the bottom.
You get that good bounce.
Yeah, give it the dice to bounce because
the other thing, if it's hollow on the bottom and you roll dice in it, it may be a little loud.
Hey, I got a special cup. Talking about getting in people's heads, it is good.
I don't want to hear about your cup.
And I put the dice in it, and they rattle, and they make. So remember the guy IOG with the metal cup for X-wing, and he'd rattle them in the metal cup. Yeah. I did that. I used that cup once, and I got thrown out. Anyways, so it is solid, so perfect. That gives the dice bounce. So David, paint that up, or give it to me to paint up. It needs to be painted.
It does.
Any way you want to look at that thing needs to be painted, and I'm thinking I'd go Gasland, so I would go Rusty Crusty. If you were going to go Aristea, it needs to be probably bright and shiny. Record decals and paint supplies for team sponsored drive. There you go.
There you go.
All right.
And then Joe's gone away from he's gone to the what I call the bounty background, which is it's a bounty paper towel or a paper towel of some kind.
It looks like snow.
It does look like snow.
So perfect. All this terrain. This is all the Speed Freaks terrain. It's fabulous looking terrain.
Really nice.
Good for any sci-fi post-apocalyptic game, not just 40K or Speed Freaks, but it's just good looking stuff. I would, if it was scaled down, it'd be awesome for Gaslands.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those look really good.
So good stuff. Just bits and pieces, like
pile. It's like an orc junkyard.
I can just imagine the guy that sculpted this just literally grabbed a handful of random bits out of a bits box, dumped them down, sprayed adhesive over the whole thing, and said, "Boom, orc terrain."
And then scan it and put it in the computer. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, because it just looks awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah,
makes me want to paint mine. You have a deal. When can I give it to you for painting? We can hook up Friday if you want. I think I'll be gaming at the shop by my house. We'll talk. Text me during the week.
Hang on a minute. I'm having some technical difficulties here.
Kill Team will be an orc scrapyard. It reuses most of this. Yes, Kill Team. Well, and again, all the terrain in the new orc the Kill Team box set has orc stuff in it. What happened, buddy?
Having some technical issues. Hang on one second.
Uh-oh. Will do. All right, David. Yeah, we'll talk during the week.
We're good. I really thought I had more pictures than that, but we don't.
Okay. Yeah, David, let's talk. Let's try to meet on Friday because I know you live close to my house. So we'll hook up and I'll get it painted up for you, dude. I'll paint it up on the show.
Push the buttons. Share my screen back up.
Oh, pushing buttons. Sorry.
I thought I had more pictures because this goes straight into the piece of terrain that I just finished up, the tower.
Okay.
There it is.
Boom. That is just amazing.
Yeah,
I love how you went over all of the foam with the epoxy sculpt.
I'm going to talk about that at the end because I was looking for something because I actually was trying to figure out a way to seal the foam, but also gap fill and blemish fill. And I found an interesting way to do it. But this is the styrofoam base that I cut up for it.
I love it. The whole thing, that's just a great looking piece. Your green is got a variety of colors to it, which grass would always have a variety of colors.
Well, I was going to put railroad flocking on it, but the problem I have with hills and terrain that's been covered with static grass or with the regular railroad flocking, it gets worn off.
Yes.
So what I did was I covered this with two types of terrain stuff from Vallejo.
You mean like the pasty stuff?
Yeah, the actual terrain effects.
Yeah.
This is European mud that I put here because this is where they basically cut the steps out of the ground, and then I put basically basswood planks on it.
You said European.
Luckily, we're talking astronomy. And then on the grass area, I used the black lava, which is a much more finer grain. But then I took my spatula, which, by the way, best investment I made were these spatula sets.
Yep.
That really helped with this project. And then I took the spatula and textured it. I kept just give it some texture. Yep. But I wanted to find a way to fill the gaps and the areas of this foam that had blemishes that didn't really look like any kind of natural rock. And what I did was I took epoxy sculpt and because it's water soluble until it dries.
Right.
So I took a pie pan and I put about a 1/4 inch of water in the bottom of it and a chunk of pre-mixed epoxy sculpt. And I literally kept kneading it in the water and adding water until I literally dissolved it all down into a paste, which is this. This is epoxy sculpt in liquid form. That comes out as like a thick paint. And I literally just brushed that all over the styrofoam base that I made. And I put it heavy in areas that needed to have some holes filled, and it worked beautifully. It just worked really, really well.
So you went into basically sculpting the foam that you cut up.
Yeah.
And made it perfect.
Yeah, I cut all these rocks, but there's blemishes because you use a pretty big knife for that kind of work.
Yeah.
And this putty just filled every single hole. And if I needed to build it up, like for example, let me see if I can zoom in on it here.
Yeah, Rex is right. This would make an awesome addition to a Frostgrave game.
Well, like right in here, there were some transition issues, and I literally just filled all of them with epoxy sculpt to give it that look. And the basswood planks are just done with ink, but it just filled all those holes, and it worked better than I thought it would, because I was like, well, if before I can cover it gesso, I've got to go through all these blemishes with some kind of putty and fill them. And the other nice thing about it, because it's epoxy sculpt, when I got it covered, I basically from that point could sand it. So I sanded all these brush marks back out and smoothed out all these rocks. So it worked out really, really well.
And when you first sent me the picture of the pie tray, well, I thought you were just making a pie. Because you sent me, you go, guess what I'm working on? You're making a pie? I didn't know how to respond because I didn't know what it was. I was like,
I was just sitting here. I was getting ready to use Milliput or Vallejo putty, their plastic putty. And I'm like, man, I got to fill all these holes, and I'm going to sand them. And I was going to delay it because I wanted to get it done that day. And I said,
David's leaving us. So, yeah, David, have a great weekend, buddy.
We'll talk to you later. So I'm sitting there going, I got to find a way to do this quickly. And I just said, well, it's water soluble. Let's see if it works. I thought I'll experiment. I'm sure I'm not the first person to do this. But I'd never heard of anything like that before. So I just kept kneading it down in the water until I had this nice thick. It was almost the thickness of brush on primer.
Right.
And I just brushed it on.
I've taken epoxy sculpt and just got a little water on my finger to like rub it smooth, but I've never thought about taking it down to a liquid form.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, I tested it also. I put it on that, but I also took a piece of scrap foam that I had, because one of my fears was that if it got pressed on, because it's epoxy sculpt, that if it got pressed on or twisted, it would pop or crack and come off. And it hasn't done that yet. I've been pushing on it and handling it, and it stayed pretty good.
Well, I would venture to say, because the foam is porous and you thinned it down so much that the epoxy sculpt got into the pores, and it's just made a really, because that stuff's like rock hard when it's dry.
Yeah.
It basically put a hard coating on the outside of that foam so that it's not getting destroyed. Now, is the building 3D printed, or is that one of the resin buildings?
No, the building's 3D printed.
Okay, so it's lightweight. It's not heavy.
The two towers I just recently painted, and the bone orc hut are 3D printed from Darren's 3D printer. Cool.
But I would think the resin might be a little bit more weight over time. It may cause an issue, but if it's 3D printed, it's lightweight. So
I just had to make some kind of base for that tower, because the tower is actually fairly small. It's only about 4 inches in diameter on the base, but when you get to the top, it's almost 8.
Yeah, so it goes out.
And I knew that it was going to get knocked over a lot, so but I didn't want to just put on like some kind of cardboard. I wanted to give it some, that building is so nice. I mean, the print job was just gorgeous. I didn't want to just throw it on some kind of flat piece of wood and leave it at that. So
I think you went in the right direction.
I hope I didn't. Well, Darren liked it, so that's all I care about. He's the guy that commissioned it. So
yeah, as long as the person that's paying for it likes it, who cares?
That's all that matters to me.
That's all that matters. You ready to get busy?
I am, actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna cover everybody up.
Okay, here we go.
Switch out painters, because got to get my stunt painter in here.
Stunt painter
To the set.
I love this miniature so much, I'm willing to pay someone else to paint it.
Which miniature is this?
No, that's my stunt painter. That's his mom.
Oh. So I've been slowly working on the giant, and I got him fitted okay. There's still a little bit of gapping back here that I just need to push in some epoxy sculpt. But last night I drilled a big old hole down the center of them and used a screw to screw it all together.
Nice.
Because I can just epoxy sculpt over this and fill that in. And since it's on the bottom, no one's really going to see it if it's not.
You screwed your giant.
I screwed my giant.
It's in the Uranus.
But the problem that I was having is I wasn't getting a lot of contact surface that I was satisfied with, and didn't think that the gap was going to be enough to fix it, or epoxy sculpt was going to be enough to fix it. So I wanted to come up with a secondary connection point. Sure. Because the two hands and the head I'm not worried about, because they've got pretty deep connection points that once I glue them on, they're going to be fine. But this did not have a good connection joint, so that's going to help.
Yeah, cool.
So he's getting done.
Awesome.
And then I didn't touch my little dude all week. I left him alone so I can still work on him. And then I've got my black orc painted. I got a unit of boys soaking in purple power.
Purple power.
But this is going to be the leader of that unit of boys, because Warlords of Erewhon, you just have orcs and you have an orc leader, and you can use whoever you want. So I wanted somebody like this to be my orc leader for that unit. So just got little projects going on. Plus I'm working on my Gaslands car. I got the screen put in place. Just lots of little stuff.
I'm working on the next group of terrain for the shop, and it's the what do they call it? The basilicum and the other thing, but then this type of stuff.
Like
now
the ruins and
yeah. So there's a 3-story one and a 2-story one that I'm working on, but this is actually what I primered this black, and then I went back over it because I decided after I primered it black to paint it white, so my planning was not there. But I'm going to do a lot of the gold trim, And I'm like, this is going to take me forever to do the gold trim, and it's actually quicker for me to do this.
What's this? Mask it?
I masked out all the white.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm going to shoot that with my airbrush. But that's what one of the things I've been working on is I've got 3 of these pieces to mask up and shoot over the weekend, which will be after we finish the show and I do my dinner and lunch with my kids. I'll be back in here tonight, putting masking tape on terrain.
Sounds like a wonderful way.
I've got all marbleizing done on the tiles in the main pieces. They're all masked out and ready to go. So now I got to shoot them with white. And I've pulled out every bottle of white paint that I own in preparation of shooting white.
Raymond's asking what flavor of orcs do I play, and I'm assuming maybe he's thinking what clan do I play.
Sounds like that's what he's asking you.
And I like the guys with the teeth. So I like the bad moons, or bad sons, or evil sons, or I paint everything yellow. I paint the yellow dudes.
I like one of those guys.
Because you're not really with the new Orc Codex. You're not hearing a lot about the other clans. A lot of what you're hearing about with the new Orc Codex are the Snakebite clans.
Right.
Because there's the special rule for the snake bites is, I guess it's a new rule in 9th edition about transhuman, trans something, where some special ability, and I'm so out of the loop.
Yeah, well, it's hard to keep up anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
But yeah, I like the bad moons. They're my jam. Everything I like painting yellow. Like here, and again, the reason I do like them, it's their fluff, just like you like your Space Wolves.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the richest army, or the richest clan, because they got the most teeth, and that's currency in the orc world.
They've got the most teeth.
And they can afford to buy all of the cool equipment. So Evil Sons, the red goes faster. They can afford to buy all the cool equipment, and they kind of model themselves after the Imperial Guard. And they don't mind taking a Leman Russ and putting it in their fleet and converting up and chopping up and doing stuff. So fluff-wise, they're the coolest for me.
They're the coolest.
But yeah, there's some uniqueness with the new mechanics or the new rules for the orcs. Just some of the clan rules that are going on. So, and I know Raymond got a hold of a orc box set.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I don't know if he'll have them ready to go by the OG. All right, getting a little bit of a brighter red on my. Soon I'll have to add some Evil Sons, as Lenny has pointed out, as the edge highlights for this.
Yes.
But that's just thin coats of some brighter red over darker red makes up cooler red.
That's what they say.
It's all about thin coats.
Yes. I'm actually going to be working on my Wolfguard leader for my Swift Claws.
I don't think there's enough stuff in the box. Not enough stuff for a whole arm. Well, maybe 50 power. I don't know what the power levels are. So maybe in a power level game, you might be okay. I don't have a codex, so I don't know.
No codex.
I am codexless. Codexless.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's all right.
I am trying to locate something in my toolbox that needs to be reorganized badly.
Your toolbox needs to be reorganized badly?
Yeah, I got too much stuff in my toolbox.
Hate it when that happens.
It is a pain.
having all the tools you need to do your job,
Then you just shove them in a toolbox.
shove them in a box. Nobody puts my tool in a box. Someone needs to fix that. Yes, someone does need to fix that. uh, the first one that needs to fix it's my wallet.
This is true.
So
Ugh. Sometimes these rare earth magnets just will not let go.
yeah,
Oh, putty time.
I will say yesterday I got extremely nostalgic and didn't make the best financial decision in my life.
What did you do?
I went to a used bookstore and they had the complete set of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, so J.R. Tolkien's famous works,
Right.
from the paperback releases from 1973, which were the same books that I read when I first was introduced to that series,
Right.
and they weren't in the greatest of shape, but I bought them.
You bought them anyway.
I was like, $50 purchase, but it was a very nostalgic moment. So it happens. We get nostalgic and we get misty eyed, and we're like, I remember sitting at the house and in the living room reading these books and blah 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 blah. So yes, I picked them up because my copies obviously got lost or destroyed over the years.
My entire purchase of those Man of War stuff was that exact reason.
We are now.
I've gone through, looked at all the ships, and said, "Oh, these are really cool. I have all the rules." But have I organized a game? No,
No. Are you planning to? No.
not at this point.
Well, how far is Chicago from you? Like,
It's about a 12-hour drive.
because there is Adepticon, they do a big Man of War tournament.
I'm hoping not next year, but I'm hoping in 2023 to be. I'm going to hit some local cons this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that I can get myself in position that in 2023 I can hit like LVO and some of the other cons in the area.
Shaka Khan. Sorry,
Sure.
had to do it. Yeah, it'd be awesome if we could get you to come down for whoa. Mike, send me a pic. If it's the box set, I might have a set in better condition. Mike, send me a pic if it's the box set. I might have a set. But I don't know what you're talking about, Joe. Oh, box set of Lord of the Ring books. Oh, sure. I'll send you a picture. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'll send that to you, Joe. Hello. Every time I say Man of War, I think the man. Yes, Man of War. Mike, I was a complete man from Uncle TV series DVD, sat back at Bookman's to take on the trip. Oh, mine. Oh, sweet man from the. I don't know that TV series, so I'll have to check that out.
Man from Uncle's, actually a really good show. I did the same thing with Wild Wild West. I have a Wild Wild West DVD box set that is
An addiction.
very cool. Yeah.
It's just nostalgia, and trust me, marketers, sellers, buyer, everybody preys on the nostalgia factor. I think the difference from us compared to like, because I'm 51, and when I look at the seniors, yeah, and they have like really cool race car, old fixed up hot rods, because for them cars were the big thing.
Yep.
But for us, because we were part of a different world, our nostalgia is a little different. Like, to me, I could care less about a 1932 Ford Coupe. Like, yeah, it looks nice, it's cool. I don't have any desire to go buy one. I never really saw them growing up. They weren't part of my life.
Right. No, absolutely.
So, but for a lot of, that's why there's a bit of a difference with what we collect, because our stuff is mass media market stuff and not big physical steel objects.
Yep.
But still love it. I love it. So anyways, yeah. Joe, I'll send you a picture of the covers of the ones I got. But it was just something that happened. It happens.
I
It happens to us all.
I watched Disney's Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus last night.
How was it? I have not watched it.
It's really good. Okay, it's as good as you could expect for a movie about a Disney ride.
Wasn't it also a book?
Not to my knowledge. It's based on their Jungle Cruise ride. Because they've done Haunted Mansion, they've done all their different rides.
It's got Don Johnson in it, or not Don. The Rock. Whatever his name is.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
He has dropped the Rock moniker, by the way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. He's
good for him. You mean he grew up?
Well, he had a contract with WWE.
Oh. And, that was his stage.
Yeah, The Rock was a WWE property, and I think there was some kind of legalese in there.
Yeah.
But he has now dropped The Rock. He is just Dwayne Johnson. But the movie's actually good. It was a little predictable. There's only one thing that I wasn't expecting but it was actually entertaining, and anything with Emily Blunt's entertaining, and Dwayne Johnson. So, and like I've said many times, if I go to cinema to see it, I'm gonna spend $30 anyway. So it doesn't bother me to pay for Premier Access on Disney Plus.
Right.
I get to pause it when I want, when I gotta get popcorn or something like that. So
gotta go pee. Or
my grandkids who watch it have to go pee.
All right. Or when your wife asks you 20 questions, you can just pause it and answer the questions and then move on.
So that wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. I watched a new, oh my gosh, Netflix movie or something. Hell. Oh my gosh. I can't remember I can't remember the title now.
Yeah. What's it about?
It's basically small town USA. People like in Texas, banks taking property away from people. This poor family, their mom died, and the bank's gonna foreclose on their property. And
any recognizable actors in it?
Oh yeah, but I just can't remember his name now. He's a really famous actor.
That sounds a little bit like there's a Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges movie.
It is, yes, that's it, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, he plays the sheriff, and his Chris Pine and his brother are
yes
on a I can't remember the name of that movie either. But
Hell on the Highway or Hell, something about hell and life. Very slow moving movie. Like
if we wait long enough, Joe will answer it for us.
Yes. Very slow moving movie, but the twist in it's very cool, and I don't want to tell you what the twist is because that would ruin the movie for you.
Yep.
And it was just a really good movie. So if you don't want an action-packed movie, if you want action, don't watch it.
I've been watching a really nice good show on Epix, which is one of the pay movie channels, called War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds, like the War.
I'm a big War of the Worlds fan. H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. I love the original. I don't mind the remake with Tom Cruise. And there was a series in the 80s called War of the Worlds, which is actually kind of cool. Which, speaking of nostalgia, I own on DVD. But this is a different twist on it. It's made in conjunction with the BBC, and it's got a really different twist on that whole mythology. That I kind of like so far. It's been actually pretty good. So,
all right.
It's starring Gabriel Byrne, who was the reason I started watching it, because I noticed he was in it. I like Gabriel Byrne, who was in one of my favorite movies. He played Uther in Excalibur.
Uther.
And of course, he's in Usual Suspects, so you can't go wrong with that.
Usual Suspects is such a great movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
That's just one of those, like, you just sit there and just go, oh, that was, but it's not one of those movies you can watch over and over again.
Well, because it's all about, it's like watching Sixth Sense. Once you have the twist, you have the twist.
Now you may see new things in it when you watch it a second time, like you might see a clue or something that you didn't pay attention to the first time around, but once you kind of have the plot, it's done.
I always love it when people are talking about Stephen Baldwin and he's not a great actor and he's done nothing. And I went, Usual Suspects.
End of conversation.
In a conversation. But it's kind of like Benicio del Toro before he was big.
Oh yeah.
Gabriel Byrne was probably the biggest name in it. Kevin Spacey wasn't even that big before his meteor.
Nope.
But it's a great movie. It's a really, really good movie.
My cult movie, my like obviously, you know, I love Starship Troopers.
No.
Yeah, I have a thing.
You have a thing about you made me because of your excitement and talking about it, I had to check out all the ones you were telling me about, and I have them all now too, and they're really, really good.
Yeah, well, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
But my other one is Boondock Saints.
Oh God, yeah, Boondock Saints is awesome.
Like I never, you know, like to me, it was like when you first see it, it's like, yeah, that's a really good movie, and it's fun to watch, and it's a little weird in certain parts.
I picked up Boondock Saints. I was in Suncoast Video down at White Marsh Mall here in Maryland, and I was like, man, I need to watch something, and I haven't, you know, because I was I had at one point in time 3,000 DVDs or more.
Yeah.
Um,
Joe said, "I fail you. I don't know it."
Oh no. I went down and I was talking to the guy that ran who was a friend of mine, and he goes, well, if you really want something, if you're really willing to trust me and take a risk, I've got a movie you really might enjoy. And I said, okay, what is it? And he goes, Boondock Saints. And I didn't know anybody in it at the time.
Right.
And oh my God, it's my favorite movie. It's fantastic. It's in my top 5 favorite films. So
I didn't know people were stealing the DVDs from stores, like because when I bought like a collector's edition of it,
right,
and it was like behind the counter and all this stuff. I'm like, what's so special? And they're like, people literally are opening and just stealing the DVDs,
yes,
and not the case, just stealing the DVDs. So we got it, like, because it's got this cult following to it.
Yeah.
So it's just weird that people do weird things like that. Well,
Hell or High Water.
What was that?
Hell or High Water.
That's it. Oh, you looked it up.
Yeah, I did. When Joe said he couldn't do it, I had to look it up. It's Hell or High Water. It's starring Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, and the other actor I like in that a lot as well. I just got to look it up here who he is. Ben Foster.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of good names in that movie.
Again, to me, it's like Clint Eastwood's Mule, or I guess I'll say it's more like Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino. So
it could also be a little bit like No Country for Old Men. That kind of not a lot of action, but a really good, strong story.
Well, I want to say Gran Torino a little bit more because it is not. There is a warning at the beginning of the movie about it not being sensitive to today's standards.
Oh, good. I may have to watch that then. I've been wanting to see it anyway, and I've just kind of been putting it off. You've just pushed me over the edge. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, he's a small town country sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need to say anything else. You probably know the guy.
That's my favorite part about No Country for Old Men, is Tommy Lee Jones plays that old, and it doesn't end like you think it would. You know, No Country for Old Men doesn't end like you want it to. There's nothing warm and cuddly about that movie. So I'm going to definitely have to watch this thing now.
Yeah, I think this one's a little bit predictable in that sense about how it's going to end, but it's the twist in the movie that I think really sells it.
Cool.
That's the thing I can't talk about.
Well, no, and I appreciate that. But I will definitely check it out, and we'll talk about it.
This time, text me after you watch it.
Yeah, I won't. You've already seen it. And I'm sorry, you were talking about Bad Blood, and you gave me the impression that you had finished it. And I felt like I had to catch up, and what I didn't realize is I actually not only caught up, but I went past where you were at. I was so excited, and certain things happened that I really, was like, oh man, that I shot you a text, and I had actually telling you stuff that hadn't happened, you hadn't seen yet. It's like, oh man,
it's all right, it's all good.
I literally felt horrible.
Don't feel. Joe's mentioning the best movie for Stephen Baldwin.
Stephen Baldwin, yeah.
Viva Rock Vegas. I'm confused by that. I don't know Viva Rock Vegas.
I'm going to say, okay, Joe, I will take that because he didn't say Biodome.
He didn't say what?
Biodome.
Oh,
That's the one that everybody. Oh, Stephen Baldwin's best Biodome with Pauly Shore.
yeah, no.
It's not a bad movie, but it's not. It's got Pauly Shore. So
What's up, Weasel? He was funny in some aspects.
yeah, well, I love what is that movie? Where Brandon Fraser's in it and
Encino Man.
Encino Man. I love Encino Man. That was funny, but I never really caught with the Pauly Shore humor. It never really
Never resonated with you.
after that one. And my Biodome's not bad. So I'm glad that Joe didn't say Biodome was his best movie. And I've never seen Viva Rock Vegas.
I just want to say Viva Rock Vegas.
He was Barney in the live action Flintstones movie.
Never watched that.
John Goodman's in it, so I had to check it out.
I'm assuming Goodman played
Fred. He played Fred. Yep. I love this new jump pack I got from Pop Goes the Monkey, because it's got the clan markings, the pack markings already in it.
Yeah, makes it easier for you to paint.
Yeah, they look really good. And yeah, it's just awesome. I'm liking it a lot.
I'm loving it.
Like McDonald's.
Yes. All right, so I'm not going to do much more to this banner. I'm going to leave a lot of it metal, but I am going to add rust to it. So I do want it to look rusty. But my banners are good. I just need to get some Evil Sun. Evil Sun. I'm gonna call this Danzig Sun. Danzig Sun, yeah. But to do some of the edge highlighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do want to get like a rusty, grungy effect in here.
You don't want to get Black Hole Sun?
No, don't want Black Hole Sun. We want Danzig Sun. So, oh boy. No, John Goodman was Fred in the Flintstones.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, then what are you talking about? Oh, he was.
Viva was the sequel to with Mark Fred. He was Game of Thrones. Okay.
Okay, then what did you mean by a live Flintstones movie? He was Barney.
Live Flintstones. He was Barney. Oh boy. Lenny wants to see the new Danzig movie. Okay, you're gonna have to help me out with that.
No, I know what he's saying. They made a sequel of.
Oh, gotcha.
And you're right. Rick Moranis played Barney in the first one. You are correct. And in the sequel, it's one of those sequels simply for cash, because John Goodman did not play Fred.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump on with Lenny real fast. Death Raiders in the House of the Vampires is the new Danzig movie. Where can I watch that? Like, is that on Shudder or where? Like, where is the new Danzig movie at? Help enlighten me. Because he Danzig makes some real. I'll send you the trailer. Okay, Danzig makes some really B-rated movies, which are fun to watch. I just broke the top off my paint pot.
Oh no! Tighten it a little too tight.
Well, it was cracked already, and I glued it, but now it's completely gone. The good thing is that's just a cheap Amazon purchase.
So is Danzig a better filmmaker than Rob Zombie?
That would be a hard one to say. They're both about the same.
Okay. I've never seen anything Danzig done, but I've seen most of what Rob Zombie has done.
Well, then I would have to say Rob Zombie would probably be better for you.
Okay.
House of a Thousand Clowns, I think, is one or something like that.
No, he said Lenny says Danzig is really a good filmmaker.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I've seen Victoria or Verotica, however you pronounce it, Verotica, and I saw that one on YouTube, and that was horribly awesome. But it was I think you turned it on to me because we were talking about B-rated movies and all that kind of stuff, and you mentioned it. and I watched it, and well, for some reason, I just it felt terrible. I felt terrible for watching it somehow. It was just bad.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, well, there's B movies and there's just bad movies. I enjoy a good B movie, but there are some movies out there that people call B movies that no, that's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
That's the only B in it is the fact that it's just bad.
Oh, okay. He said he had to edit. He said he's not.
It's not Rob Zombie level movie maker. All right.
Yeah, that's why I was like, because that's my experience with Danzig as a filmmaker. But still really worth watching. Like Shudder is a great streaming horror site if you're okay with really, really, really bad horror movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like don't get caught up into the plot. It's no Godzilla versus King Kong plot line. Gotta have a story here. It's like arguing the plot of a porn.
I was sitting there thinking the same thing. Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna argue, if you want to get into plots, don't do it. But if you just want to have fun, you know, just endless entertainment.
Joe, that title alone,
Frogtown.
yeah, that title alone, Joe, makes me think, I may have to check that movie out.
I wouldn't mind watching Hell Comes to Frogtown. Because that indicates that there's frog people.
There's a werewolf movie that's starring the girl from the Verizon commercials that I want to check out, but I haven't watched it yet.
New or old?
It's just released within the last 3 months.
Oh, Lenny just sent me the trailer.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's got Roddy Piper first, finest. Now we have to watch Frogtown.
Well, They Live is an awesome film, and it's because of Roddy Piper.
He's the man. For my rust on this, I'm just gonna run some AK Interactive Rust Streak stuff on it. I'm not getting too creative. I'm just gonna get my brush with some thinner on it, put some thinner on the paint, which I should have clear coated it first, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And it's all relevant. They're just words. And then I'm just gonna start dabbing the paintbrush around. I'm not getting too caught up in the nuances of it all.
I'm going to say this again, and I think I've said it the last 3 or 4 shows. I'm really enjoying my Scale 75 paintbrushes.
Yeah, I think you did mention that.
I think I have. They're really good. They hold a tip really well. The paint flows off of them really well. I'm really liking them.
I'm using a cheap throwaway paintbrush.
And that's fine too.
All because I'm using thinners.
Yep.
And I don't want to destroy my cool paintbrush.
I can completely understand that.
Jeff said, hold the tip. Yes, he did.
I did.
Jeff's all about the tip.
Tip of a good paintbrush. Can't beat it.
It's just good to see John pop in at the right moment. It's all about timing, you know.
Yep. Well, John is doing something with casings, so he's probably bored out of his mind.
All he's thinking is, this is overtime. This is overtime. This is overtime. I'm assuming it's overtime because John doesn't normally work on Saturdays.
Yep. Whoa. Hello. Haven't done that in a while.
What'd you do?
I almost cleaned my paintbrush out of my Bobo Gilliman mug, which is holding my beverage. Bobo Gilliman, primate of the Chimberium. I got the pieces and the parts out to make my own Bobo Gilliman.
Sweet. All right. Just added a little bit of a rust effect. You won't really notice it until it dries.
Yep.
And I dull coat it, but just a little. I want it in the cracks and crevices. I don't want to get all carried away and have it 15 different shades of rust. You just add a little. Just a little. A little goes a long way. Sometimes less is more. All right. Ghost paintbrush number 5. All right. Now we're going to do some weathering. We're going to clean up the base a little bit. This guy's going to be done like soon.
My knee jerk on that, Ray. Ray's asking if if the codex isn't out by the OG, if I'm going to allow the limited codex. I don't see a reason why I shouldn't, because it does fall into the category of I want everyone to have a good time.
Yeah. Well, and it technically is released.
Yep. And I do state on there that if it's something that, if it's a publication that augments or adds to your codex, so that would be, I don't see a reason we can't. Again, it's more about just getting together and having fun and celebrating the hobby versus my life revolves around my record.
Well, and having the new orc stuff in, like someone playing the new, it's just,
yeah, you want to play your new stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem with that. Raymond,
I just spent $200 on this box. I just spent $200 on this box set I want to play.
Unless you're gaslighting me and you just want to do it because you know that the codex you're going to play is broken.
Or what's the other one? Angle shotting you? Angle shooting?
Yeah, angle shot or whatever they call it.
Whatever they're calling it. It's like, really?
Raymond is not the type of guy to do that, though.
No. And I'm sure there'll probably be an FAQ out before the codex like next week.
So, absolutely.
Well, because there was some little weird nuance, something about, I forget what it was. Something about the truck boys couldn't be in trucks or something like that. I don't know. Right. I stopped listening. I kind of zoned out.
I kind of tuned it out at that point.
Kind of got done with it all. Well, he's going to look awesome when he's done.
Makari?
Yeah.
I'm sure he will.
Be a good addition. I might have to paint his base green in honor of Lenny.
Look at Lenny. He's got a base paint in his honor. I've got one of my outriders is a patterned off Lenny. Look at him.
I want to be because his name's so close to Lemmy.
There you go.
That he kind of gets a honorary mention all the time.
You need one of those orc guitarists and paint it up as Lenny.
I have a zombie Lemmy model.
Ooh.
I should pull that out and paint it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh my gosh, Don has finally chimed in and said a word.
Don!
Where's it? Don has joined. Don has entered the room.
John has entered the fray.
You want to paint the goth rocker, but you can't find one. And I don't think I have. I thought, weren't the goth rockers an Impact Miniatures release? I don't know if those were GWs, or did GW do the goth rockers?
I think they did. I'm checking something.
Uh-oh.
Somewhere. I have a goth rocker somewhere.
Uh-oh.
I just have to allow my 486 processor to access the hard drive and bring the information up. So
whoa, you don't, dude. You have to put the cassette in the cassette player.
And it's not a cassette, but it's an 8-track. It's a real.
You got the punch cards out, dude. You're putting this series of punch cards.
So by November, I should know where it's at.
Yes. And we put a man on the moon with that technology. Just remember that.
It's one of my favorite lines in Apollo 13. With the development of a computer that you can fit in a single room, it's like, what?
That was the highlight.
What?
Yeah, I don't have any of the goth rockers. Only really cool collectible. I got a lot of cool collectible, like older miniatures, but I think my favorite one was the Game Days orc with the little snotling where he's standing there with his arms crossed, and it was painted for me by, it was my model. I sent it to a guy. His name's Scott. He's the brush wizard.
Right.
And he actually painted it for me because he harassed me relentlessly for not ever opening the package. And I said, well, I'll open it if you paint it. And that's what happened.
My golf rocker is with my Noise Marine.
Where's that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So, but that's my most, I guess, exotic or collectible type. Obviously I got some limited edition things, but it's not very limited when there's a million of them made. So
I got an original Sergeant Centurious, which is one of my prides and joys.
Is that the one from
Legion of the Damned?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm thinking. The one that was done from you by Haley.
No, she did a custom Wolf Lord. She even actually, it's got a really cool motorcycle on it. I've never found that motorcycle kit before.
Well, maybe it was custom made.
But Sergeant Centurious is the sergeant of the Legion of the Damned, and he was one of the first limited model. I think it was the first limited model GW ever did, but I could be wrong. Now Thread with Barbarian was, I think, limited. He was the first one.
Well, you have a lot of limited stuff because you got the old porcelain Forge World things, and
yep. I've got every version of Thread the Barbarian ever made.
That Barbarian.
I've got 2 pinheads. So, and not the Hellraiser pinhead. The original pinhead was in Dragon magazine. He was a Ral Partha figure.
Raymond's like, goth rocker, Noise Marine with guitar, just need a Gene Sealer with drum set. Yes.
And a towel on keyboard.
No, he needs the synth guitar. What's the the guitar synthesizer?
Yeah.
He needs one of those.
Well, yeah, but what race would hold that one?
That's the Tau.
No, Tau are definitely keyboardists, dude.
You think?
Absolutely. Their keyboardists are all, all light and fluffy.
No offense to any keyboarders out there.
Everyone I've ever met, they're always,
just like you said, light and fluffy.
Yeah, very much that way. And they're always fighting for, we could add a keyboard, and most of the other no, we don't need a keyboard.
No, we got enough keyboards. You got like 2 seconds in the intro. You're good.
You're good. Yep.
You don't need anything more. Light and fluffy. So wrong.
It is wrong, and I apologize to any keyboardists out there. My mother could rock a keyboard.
Just getting some washes on the parts that I painted up and gave some color to, just to dirty them down. All right. Keyboard, Eldar and Necron. Necron's on bass guitar. I can see that. We're very mechanical. It's all about the repeated rhythm and rhyme and patterns.
Absolutely.
Necron's doing that.
Necron on bass. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Will not get an argument from me. Eldar, but not Eldar. Eldar are too flashy to be bass players.
They can play the triangle or the cowbell. I need more Eldar on the cowbell.
No, they would be more synthesizer, like more.
Yeah, that's true.
Exotic, like keyboards are just keyboard, piano. I guess they're synthesized, but there are some very exotic instruments out there for Eldar that people can play.
Yeah, if you've ever watched any videos of the Mongolian band The Who live,
yes,
there's like, what is that?
Yeah, you get some really creative instruments going there. So that would be the Eldar. They would pull out like the weird stuff.
I'm really liking this backpack. Look at that.
Sweet, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
I love how Joe spent your money.
Yeah, Joe just spent my money. No, this is Dawn. This is
Oh,
Dawn.
was this Popco? Okay, this was
Yeah,
Dawn spending.
yeah. Puppet Wars, which is I'm waiting for another order from them, is the one that Joe spent my money at for all those lovely shields and heads that I bought. But yeah,
I just love how other people spend your money. I would
well,
do
I wasn't
nothing
so
about
easy.
that.
It'd probably be a little harder.
I know nothing about that.
As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to order more of those Howler shoulder pads and switch over my other two Redemptors to those shoulder pads. So start mixing and matching what I put in there. I just got to sit down now and do the blue flame coming out of the back of this jump pack.
And maybe some budgeting.
What?
I know those weird foreign words.
What? Well, actually, I have a really good way of budgeting my spending.
How's that?
I sell old stuff on eBay and use that money to buy new stuff.
It's funny how we like old stuff.
Yep.
Oh, Victor has joined us. Eldar looking at the new orc saying, "What's up, G-Dub? You make CLs and new Dark Eldar, and we're still looking like we did in Rogue Trader." So true.
Because how do you improve on perfection, Victor? The Eldar are already, they are the Eldar.
We are Eldar.
And they lost any opportunity for an upgrade when they released the Harlequins, because those guys, no matter how they look, are just nasty.
Nasty. Dude, I think I am done. I think this model is done.
Whoa.
So
look at you.
I think it's let stuff dry. And so I'm gonna take full screen real fast, buddy.
Go right ahead, you megalomaniac. You filthy animal.
So I'm like debating on leaving the sheath for the knife that weird. It's just the primer color. I never really painted it. It's just washes kind of ran over it.
Yeah.
And I might just leave it like that and just hit whatever the detail is on it with gold.
That's cool.
But I might just leave it because it's not. It just pops a little bit. If I painted it brown or anything, it kind of gets lost. And then I got the sword. That's the banner. Obviously, it's still drying. But I did some I went down with a brighter silver, kind of creating more of a streaky effect for the metal, the shiny metal.
Right.
Like it gets rubbed on the ground, and it's just like the little guy sets it down every once in a while and it gets rubbed around, just trying to create an effect.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So, and then I'm gonna have to find my old GW Goblin Green to do the base up.
Lenny, can you help out here?
Lenny probably has like a gallon jug of it stashed away at his house someplace.
He went and had it color matched, and he's got it. He's got it.
He went over to Home Depot and can you color match this?
I've done that before, actually.
Sure, it's doable.
When I painted that 9-foot fiberglass Space Marine at Games Workshop, I went and took samples of all the colors I needed, had them, and got half gallons and gallon of paint and a Wagner power painter. So
Lenny has a contract with the supplier, so Lenny's good. So, but yeah, I think this will again, little side project. Wanted to finish them up as I continue to work on this big old giant.
Big old giant with the screw in his bum.
And he's got a screw. He got screwed.
Screw in his bum.
But the head's going to go on nice and easy. That's going to glue up, and actually the seam is perfect. It's going to create a nice line for the neck piece because he has a neck piece around his neck that's not flush, or it's just the twisted spur skin. I don't know. I'm not going to get too worked up about it. And then these pieces just pop on.
Ooh.
So I will get those glued on. Oops. Ugh, something's wrong here. That don't look right. There we go. It's supposed to go backwards like that.
There you go. That looks right.
So that's him in a nutshell. Then I got the bass. It's all about the bass, the bass, the bass. He doesn't sit right on the bass. It's warped or something's wrong. So there's going to be some fix in there.
Why do I have a warped one, oh, sir?
I may not use the bass. I may just leave it off and just make my own square bass or
I've
round
heard bass. I've heard bands say that before. We may not use a bass.
There are bands that don't use bass, and those are bands I don't like. Gotta have a bass player. It's all about the timing.
I'm not disagreeing.
Well, drummers can't keep time.
But not really.
Let's be real. Have you ever met a drummer?
Yeah, many. Every time I look in the mirror.
The Doors, yes. Well, they do have bass. They did studio bass, but a lot of their live stuff they didn't have bass until later years.
I'm still in mourning over Dusty.
Oh, from Slipknot?
Yeah, no.
ZZ Top. Sorry, Johnny was John, whatever his name was from Slipknot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, if anything ever happens to Angus Young, I'm probably going to go in the morning for like a month.
Well,
he's up there.
I didn't want to point it out.
No, he is. He's way up there.
So, but yeah, so I think my Giant is, I think I just need to glue those parts on. Like I said, I got a little gap filling here and there to do along this back waistline.
Hey, why don't you take some epoxy sculpt and knead it down to where it's a primer thickness and brush it on.
There you go.
Epoxy sculpt.
But the next step will be to get it primed and start getting the flesh tone. This has got a lot of flesh tone to it, so it's going to be a lot of flesh tone work, and then just a lot of detail work after that for all the little nuanced things that are all over them. Well, got to paint up his diaper nice.
Yep.
And just all those things.
My jump pack's coming along quite nicely.
Sweet.
There it is. I got to put some shading highlights in on the yellow and the black on the Wolfguard markings.
Sweet.
There we go.
Well, I'm done for the day, buddy.
I was just wrapping up, so
yeah.
I'm gonna put the jump pack away and grab my masking tape, and I'm gonna start masking terrain.
Masking terrain. Andy and I are heading out to do some. There's a place over in Goodyear that has some Harry Potter coffee thing going on this weekend. Some Harry Potter coffee weekend event. I have no clue.
Yep.
But they're serving Harry Potter themed coffee, and my wife loves Harry Potter, so we will be going.
They're doing some Bartleby's any flavor coffee.
Yes, and so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go hit a couple stores over in Goodyear while we're over there, and then we're coming home, and I think I'm gonna spend the afternoon crafting. Like I've got some role-playing game. I got a bunch of my books that I ordered from. I haven't talked Morborg in a while, the RPG game that I fell in love with.
Right.
But because they have an open license, there's so much content that I'm being exposed to. I'm like, it's worse than GW. Like I can't keep up with all the content they're putting out for this game. So I've resigned myself to just focusing on a few things and calling it quits. Because once you have an open license and people can make product for it, people go nuts.
Yeah. So. Well, I have a probably this. I've been looking forward to this day all week because my 3 daughters, their husbands, and my grandkids are coming over. They're invading my kitchen to cook me my birthday dinner, and I will be on the floor wrestling with my grandkids, which means around 7 o'clock I'll get a nice nap because I'll be exhausted.
Yes. Yeah, so it should be a fun day, good day. Just gonna have a chill day, nothing too elaborate on my agenda. I may later on today sneak into my hobby room and work a little bit more on some of my models and start working on the Giants.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm taking a nap, because I'll probably wake up from that nap and sit down on my here at this table and spend probably work until wee hours of the morning masking out this terrain so I can airbrush the crap out of it tomorrow.
Well, and your schedule is just tightened up because you're coming to town next month.
Yeah.
Which really we could say this month because today's the 31st.
Yeah,
So you're coming to town. So
I'm 19 days away
yeah,
from my flight.
I don't know how big your suitcase is going to be to hold all that terrain, but that's going to be one heck of a suitcase.
I actually what I'll do is the Friday or probably the Friday or Monday before I fly, I'll ship it. And then it'll arrive while I'm at the shop, and I'll open it. I'm hoping to get it there by the Friday before the OG, so some of this terrain can be used in the OG.
Right.
And that's my hope anyway.
How are you gonna pack it in the box that you ship it in? Like you're using
pillow stuffing.
Pillows. You're gonna. Okay.
I just literally bought $100 worth of pillow stuffing.
You're just gonna shove it all in there.
And I basically pack it like pillow stuffing works really well because it's anti-static. It's not abrasive, so I can basically just pile a terrain in and then pack pillow stuffing around it, so the terrain does not move at all.
Right.
And then I'm going to ship all that out, and then when I get there, I'm going to literally, all the stuff that I'm going to buy while I'm there, I'm going to put back in the boxes with that pillow stuffing, ship it back to me, so I don't lose all. I mean, $100 worth of pillow stuffing is a lot of pillow stuffing,
but it's a lot cheaper than putting it on the airplane,
right?
As luggage. And
or frankly, other ways of packing it, you use packing peanuts. Packing peanuts they don't work as well. Pillow stuffing, there's no gaps. So right. I just basically, I can literally pack it so solid that the terrain will not be damaged and it will not move. It will just sit there. And that's how I've started packing all my stuff that way. Even when I do 25 millimeter miniatures, I line the bottom with packing with foam, like just some generic foam. And then I pack in pillow stuffing. I lay the miniatures on the pillow stuffing. I put another 2-inch layer of really tightly packed pillow stuffing, put the next layer of miniature, and they do not move.
Well, because like the pillow stuffing will kind of conform to the model.
Yeah.
Where peanuts and popcorn or plastic nothing conforms to the model.
The peanuts also do this against the model, so you can have it. And the other thing is I'll stack the pillow stuffing out of the box like 3 inches, and then I pack it in, and then when I seal it, I just compress it all, and it just hugs the model, and there's no movement, so I don't get any abrasions, none of that.
Perfect. Raymond's saying you may want to go overnight because of just shipping time.
Yeah, because I've had so much trouble with stuff getting shipped. I mean, I was supposed to get a package today that is again lost in USPS land. So
we all are.
Yeah, so
I had a package arrive in Phoenix 3 days ago. Still not even scheduled to be delivered to my house. It's like,
well, I told you about the 2 purity seals from this company. They were scheduled to be delivered today, which I thought was great. But last night I got the notice that says it's arriving late. And if you look at the tracking info, they have no idea where they're at. They're just like, it's in transit. It's like, okay, well, in transit, every state has an in transit. I have no idea where it's at. It could be in North Carolina.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Anyways, thank you all for hanging out with us in the hobby zone and painting miniatures with us. I'm excited about what I got done. Again, creating new habits and hobbies. Just do it for 10 minutes or do it for an hour a day or a week, and you'll be good.
Just put a little time in every day. You get a lot done.
That's the whole idea, is just sitting down and doing it. And that's why we do the show. We would do it every day if we could, but unfortunately I have to work and and people have to work. So
yeah, absolutely.
We have lives, unfortunately. We can't all just sit at our desk and paint. Well, Jeff can. But even Jeff can't.
I don't have a life.
I didn't want to say it that way. You have a job.
I do have a life. My grandkids are coming in. I'm going to have a ball.
There you go. So we will be back Wednesday for the Wolf's Den, and
7 p.m. your time.
Darren may or may not be back in town this week.
I'll probably talk to him today or tomorrow to find out when I don't think he's traveling back where he can be. He might be. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Who knows what's going on?
He's got a business to run. So
absolutely, it depends on how hot Arizona is. Will determine when he comes back.
It's not hot, but it is humid, and yeah.
Although, I can say that.
He's
Oh,
saying
he's
Friday, Saturday, so he won't be back this week, but maybe next week he'll be on the show. Of course, that's when you're coming back.
What?
You leave in a couple weeks to come back down.
I leave in 3 weeks on the 19th.
So cool. Anyways, you guys, you all have a great weekend. You got anything to say you want before we cut out? Other than
nope. Other than bye.
Bye. So you all have a great weekend. We will catch you guys on Wednesday. Hump day. Bye, guys.